Okay, hello everyone. This is Erin Morgan. I am the editor-in-chief of Eye Care Business Magazine, and we are here live today with Dr. Adam Ramsey. Hi, Adam. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, hey, Erin. Thanks for having me.
You're looking good. You're looking safe over there in your
Yeah,
mask,
we're trying. We're trying.
and Adam is with Socialite Vision. He is the owner and optometrist with Socialite Vision. And Adam has a few different locations. This is your main location in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida.
Yeah.
And Adam's going to give us a little bit of a tour today to kind of share, like we did last week. This is our Ready to Reopen series for Eye Care Business on our live stream series. We're live streaming to YouTube, to Facebook. And please feel free to type in your comments into the comment box or your questions for Adam into the comment box on Facebook or on YouTube, and we'll answer those kind of at the end after Adam gives us a tour. He's going to talk about new safety protocols and different standards they're using in the office as they reopen. And you just reopened on Monday, is that correct?
I did on Monday. So we did half open on Monday. So we didn't have all the patients. Next week we have more patients than we did this week. And it was just literally us getting a feel for the office and making sure we could keep up with the safety protocols of cleaning every time and checking all the temperatures. And we did the run-throughs, but it's totally different when the phone is ringing, when the mailman comes, to actually keep up with what you did in the practice runs compared to what you're doing when the office is actually functioning. Like, we did it when the phones were off, but the phone ringing off the hook and the mail coming in and patients coming in and walking by. I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can kind of get a see. So my office is in this little boutique plaza. So we got a lot of Range Rovers and Lamborghinis and stuff like that. In the, I don't have that. But
looks beautiful
the,
there.
Sign. Now above me is apartments. So there are
Oh,
people.
wow.
So it's a mixed use. And then people on the bicycles enjoying life.
Nice.
So this is it here. The front, we have a bench here. If somebody comes with them, I'm asking them to either sit in their car or sit on the bench. So only one person in at a time. So even if they come with somebody else, unless they're a minor, then we're saying wait outside. So
so if you come in with your child, then you can come in with them. But
exactly.
Otherwise,
but other than that, we're asking them to wait outside. Then the door's locked. So the door is locked. So if they can't get in, then we're just waiting there till we get there. Then we have the sign telling them that the mask must be worn inside. The door is normally locked, and then we're wiping down even the outside handle when they come and go. So
that's great.
This is it here. Hey, Jackie, say hi to the people. My office
manager, Jackie
here. All right. So what we're doing is we email and use the Weave system to text the questionnaires. But if they do not fill that out, or they're like a walk-in or something, then we're asking them the questions on the questionnaire. So do you have a fever? Do you lost taste or smell? Have you been in contact? Have you been out of the country? And then we were also asking when we were open before, we never really fully closed. We always were available to patients. We just weren't doing non-essential visits. So on that same questionnaire, what we asked was, why are you doing the visit today? So it said, my contacts I'm out of contacts and I can't see out of them, so I don't want to just reorder. Or my glasses broke and I need to be able to see. I have a high prescription. So that became an essential visit. So we had that, and we had patients scanning that in. We're still going to continue doing that for now to really help with our liability, et cetera. Just saying that, hey, the people that are coming in, they need to be seen. It's not like they're just doing it for fun. They come in, they need to actually be seen. So we have the questions. Then we're doing the temperature. So this is from a company called iHealth. Nothing. I don't get any money from them, but it was like 45. It was like $45.
Nice.
And you can and it's still available, so you can order it today. So if you can't find a thermometer, non-contact, it can work. Let's try it on Jackie here. Now, Jackie, you better not have a fever now. So you can see 98.
Wow, she's perfect.
All right. So we've been trying it there, non-contact thermometer. That was $45, and we're doing that on everybody.
Great.
And then we had a question. Where's ours? For me and you that we did. So we've been keeping our temperature as well on here. So you can see that we've kept our own temperature, and then we have a written protocol on what we're doing to keep everybody safe. So the stuff that we're doing now, we wrote it down. So if somebody comes in and says, have you been following the protocols? We have it actually written out so they can see what our protocols are, and so that we kind of follow. So that's also written out.
That's fantastic.
We are then using, we're a Vision Source office. So we're using the Pure and Clean system, surface prep, which has been shown to be effective against the coronavirus. So we're using this on all the surfaces. So I have a couple of gallons of that.
That's great.
When people come in, we have the hand sanitizer that we have here, or we're asking them to wash their hands. So they can go in the back and wash their hands if they don't want to use a hand sanitizer, but one of the two must be done upon entry. If people do not have a mask, until today, we were selling them at $2. If they didn't come in with a mask, we would give them a mask and just charge them $2.
Sure.
Pretty much close to our cost for the
mask.
That's
great.
But yesterday I posted that I gave a mask away to somebody that really needed an elderly patient, and he was having a tough time getting masks. And the Serena Williams Foundation saw that, and she donated 1,000 masks to my office.
Oh my God!
Said that I could give them away to anybody that needed it, and I picked it up yesterday, and now I have about 1,000 masks in my office to give away to people that need it. And it just came from a social media post that I did talking about an elderly patient that was having a hard time, and he wasn't good on the computer. So everybody's like, "Oh, go buy the mask online." Well, if you're 85, that might not necessarily be your specialty. You can't find it in a store, and you're not so good with the online. So what do you do? So he was saying that he was, he wasn't feeling safe, and that he was wearing the same mask for 6 weeks, and blah, blah, blah. So I said, you know what, man, don't worry about it. And I gave him a couple masks. Then he's like, hey, he's like, you know what? You were the first doctor or first person that asked me how I was doing. Everybody was going around learning about himself and what's going on. And he said, you actually asked me before we started, hey, how you doing? What's going on with you? How can I help you? And he sat there, and I talked with him for 15 minutes. And he texted us actually this morning and was like, you know what? Thank you so much. That was the best part of his week. And it was really a good feel thing. So I put it on social media just to tell people hey, there's good out there. Don't be all negative about everything. Be positive. And the foundation saw it and was like, hey, come get these masks and give them away to people for free. So now we're going to be giving them away for free. And we donated a few assisted living facilities and nursing homes so that patients in there can have them.
That's amazing.
So
and they're hard to come by. So
they're very hard,
especially for someone older, who doesn't have that online savvy.
Exactly. So let me show you a couple more things.
Awesome.
So we've always had the OptiCam. So we're using the OptiCam, and then we're just staying back away from the patient here, so that when we're doing the measurements, that they we don't have to be in as close contact with the patient. We can stay further back. We then have a frame tray that when they try on the glasses, it's staying in the tray.
That is so smart.
We're then cleaning the glasses afterwards before they go back on display. So what we're doing is we're having the patient sit down here. Then the optician is getting the glasses, bringing it to them. So we're limiting the amount of time that the patients don't touch the glasses, right? They're only touching the ones that we get brought to them, so that we can have to clean less glasses and less stuff. So
keep that under control.
Exactly. It stays in their tray. We'll give them 2 trays, like a keep tray and a going away tray, and that will be there. And we've just been utilizing that to keep it safe.
That's fantastic.
Then we used to have 4 chairs. So I took away 1 so that I can have more separation between, so that we have the spacing in between the chairs over there. And then we have the a TV monitor that has different promotional materials and stuff on the screen that rotates
Great.
over there. So we've been trying. Now, I would say that our system is trying to make it as simplified as possible and not overdoing it. You know, a lot of places I have seen the plexiglass. Let me show you.
Yes.
I have seen the plexiglass here. The
Yep.
reason I did not do the plexiglass was the same person that's working with them at the front would then be working them up in the pretest room. There's no
Right.
plexiglass in the pretest room. So why would I put the guard here? If I'm going to let them in my
Right.
office, I'm letting them in my office. Like,
Yep.
and then I don't have a plexiglass in every single place, everywhere they move. You can't do that. So that might work in some offices where they have a consistent front desk person, and maybe you're protecting the front desk person, but you're
Sure.
leaving the opticians and the technicians on their own. So it didn't make sense. So I said, you know what? Let's just do the protocols that we can be consistent with everybody. So
that makes great sense.
And then I'll go into our pretest room, and then we just have our equipment, and then we changed it around to where the patient moves the least. Right now, we took out doing the visual field just because it takes longer.
Okay.
So the test takes too long. So right now, unless it's really required, I'm skipping the visual field to try and reduce the time that the patient's in the room. So the rest of these take maybe 6 minutes to do total. This one was taking like 10. So I took out the one that takes the longest and kept in the other ones. So,
Great.
and then we have the Clorox wipes in here and alcohol wipes to clean down the equipment. And we're just trying to get the patient in and out. We used to have a chair in here for another patient to be in here with like if the husband and wife came together, but we took that out so that we didn't have any temptation to have a person be in the room with them.
That's great. So, and Adam, when you're cleaning down the equipment, is it just right after each patient's use?
So we're doing it before and after. So we're doing it afterwards, and then we're doing it with the patient in the room as well. So
that's great.
It's going to look clean to them to put their face in, and then it's going to be clean when they see it. I would hate if you see something and had makeup on it, and then they wipe it down. Well, my memory still remembers the nasty makeup. So even though you wiped it down, it's still, I want it to look clean, and then you wipe it just to make me feel better, but not because you're actually taking dirt off. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're cleaning it down in between each patient. And then when they get into the room, we're cleaning it in front of them. And then they're wearing a mask in here. So we have on a mask, they have on a mask. We're washing our hands, they're washing their hands. We're checking our temperature, we're checking their temperature. And then we're keeping them to get in and out of the store as quickly as possible.
That's great.
All right, so let me
Fantastic.
show you in here. We got the Zeiss plexiglass shields, and we put that on really quickly. And then what I did was let me just see if I have another one I can just show you here. About a week ago, I had put a plexiglass shield on the back like this. But what was happening is their nose and mouth was touching this. So that wasn't going to work. Even though they had a mask on, so the mask was really touching it, it was a little bit more uncomfortable. So Zeiss sent me 2 of these shields, and I literally just cut them. So the oculars that goes for this, I put over this. And now the patient is no longer touching their mouth or nose, and then the oculars work. So now I have the same shield that was here. I cut it with a scissors and stuck it on here. And now I have another shield there for the patient. So they still have on their mask, but then we have the protection between those two. Now I had a face, and as you'll see, I had a face shield, which I still do have a face shield, but I have not been wearing it. I tried it for the first few days, and in practice, it's a lot more difficult than it sounds like throwing on a face shield, because the oculars get steamed up. The face shield adds another layer that makes it a little bit more cumbersome. And then I'm concerned with making sure I'm properly cleaning that face shield when it's on my face. And people are having these face shields, but you could be carrying the virus on the face shield. So if you're not actually cleaning it properly, you're actually adding on another surface, and it made it a little bit more cumbersome. And I felt like I was taking longer to do the stuff because I was thinking too much. And I wanted to get in and out. My goal is to get in and out with the patient, limit the contact time, and just be a little bit easier there.
For sure. So, and how are you guys scheduling patients in terms of, is it 1 an hour? What's your protocol?
So right now we're doing 1 an hour, just to try and keep them in and out. We're doing a dispensing appointment, and we're doing frame styling appointments. So the patient has to have an appointment to pick up. And if you've come in with a prescription for somewhere else, we're making an appointment for them. We're asking them the same questionnaires. We're checking their temperature, just like if they're coming in for an exam. Now, we're doing curbside pickup for glasses, contacts, anything, so they can stay in their car and we can drop it off to them. We've had a few people where we leave it by the door and they can come and grab. So if we don't have an appointment, but they just want to come and grab it, and we can adjust it later if they need it. Say we have a patient here, but they want to come, then we're just putting it by the door in front. Right when they come, they text us and they come in. That's another thing I didn't say, is that we're using the Weave system, in which we text them so that they wait in their car and they're coming in when we let them in. So we have somebody here, we tell them just wait a second, we need 5 more minutes. People have been accommodating with that. When we say, hey, 5 more minutes, we're just finishing up with this patient and we'll be right with you. They've been accommodated. And a couple of times, like I had the patient in the exam room, the staff cleaned out there, and while I was seeing the patient, they did a dispensing out there, and then I'm checking to make sure outside is clean and empty before I'm letting the patient in my exam room go back out into the optical. So we're trying to like work it in to where the patient shouldn't see another person besides us. They may be in the exam, they may be in the building, but my goal is that they never see them.
Right.
If they're in here, they're in there, and they're in the optical is separate. And then we're just cleaning it down in between each person there.
That's great. So, and just another quick question. Oh, sorry. Will you go ahead and finish, and then I'll do the questions at the end.
Okay. So we have a distance VA chart out here. We're using the Wagner Color Vision and the eye care tonometer, and then blood pressure if needed. I'm going to show you my little toy in the back here that I just installed yesterday. So I got a new Coburn edger.
Nice.
So we can cut an edge in office, because when we were shut down, a lot of the labs were shut down. So we were seeing patients that needed glasses, and then sometimes we couldn't fulfill them because the lab was not open. So I felt like if we're shut down again, I don't want to be shut down from being able to deliver product to the patient. Say we're shut down for another 6 weeks. We may not get money again. So I need to be able to be functional. So I said, you know what? I'm going to buy an edger so that I can cut an edge in the office, so that if we're shut down again, I'm still having more control over my supply chain. And in office, if we can stay safe, then we can keep going and see essential patients in the office. So we got that installed yesterday. So we're excited about.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah. All right. So what you got for me?
That's going to be good. So my question for you, well, we have a couple of questions, but number one, can you tell us how you guys are cleaning the frames? What products are you using?
So we're using the spray and clean on the actual frames.
Okay.
We did have the soap and water, but because the spray and clean was known to be effective from the virus, and I haven't seen any issues with spraying them down. We're also keeping them in the back, so we're trying to keep them in the back and then not necessarily bringing them out right away. So because we're a smaller office, we're seeing 10 people less per day, and there are not that many frames being taken off the wall. We can leave them off the wall a little bit longer. So we're seeing that, the virus only lasts 3 days on a surface. So if I actually, even after I spray it, if I didn't bring it back out into the optical for 3 days, then that's a clean frame, no matter what I do. So we're cleaning it first, keeping it in the back before putting it back on display. And because we're bringing the frame to the patient, only unless we really need that specific frame do we have to bring it back out. So a lot of times we're cleaning it in the back, leaving it in the back right now, and then it's not even going back on display right away.
That makes sense.
So that we're making sure that the frames are clean.
Sure, that makes perfect sense. So you reopened on Monday. You said kind of half, half
Hmm.
day, kind of half reopened. What kind of, how did you message that out to your patients? Have you been communicating with them about where you're at and what your safety protocols are?
So we did a email blast to all our patients. I've always captured emails to our patients. We have a text blurb through the Weave app that we're texting everybody. First, we text everybody that we rescheduled. So there were people from March and April that weren't seen that we're now rescheduling, and we're giving them that protocol. I have a really good social media following, so especially from the patients. So I did a video on social media showing them what we're doing, so they saw it on Facebook, Instagram,
That's great.
LinkedIn, as well as I sent them the video by email. So
Oh, perfect.
they got the text blurb, they got the email blurb, they got the video, and then they had access to it on social media. So we've had people coming in and doing that. We've even been open after hours on weekends for healthcare providers and frontline workers. So the nurses and doctors that are working every day, they may not necessarily be able to come in during our office hours. So
Sure.
they're calling, texting us, and them saying, okay, I'll stay late for you. Or we were open on a Saturday and we saw 4 nurses one Saturday just so that we were available to them because they're working all week trying to keep us safe.
That's
And
amazing.
we had a couple of nurses that were having a hard time with their glasses and the shields because they were
Right.
fogging up. So we went ahead and did contacts, daily use contacts in those nurses so that they didn't have to worry about the fogging up, and they can feel more, they can feel safer in the wearing the shields in the office and when they were seeing patients. So they really love that idea.
That's fantastic. That's great. Well, it sounds like your communication has been excellent. So, how has your first week, once people got that information, what did your schedule start to look like? Did you get a lot of
Hmm.
calls for exams? We just were wondering, we're so curious if there's this, obviously, it must be a pent up demand for people that have non emergency issues but need to be seen or need their
Hmm.
eyewear, need an exam, need an updated contact lens prescription. So kind of what did you see this first week? And of course, it's only,
Hmm.
4.5 days so far.
Right. So when we did it last week, we got a few people that were like, yes, I want to come, or I've been waiting and I need it. This week, when we did it for next week, we got almost like 80% of the people that we text said, yes, I'll come for the
Wow.
appointment. So when we did it last week, it wasn't as good as what's happening this week. So I
Sure.
think week to week, people are feeling more comfortable and their acceptance rate is going up. Now, what I'm seeing in the office is our capture ratio is like close to 100%. If you're counting either a year supply of contacts or glasses, almost everybody is buying a product that I've seen this week and we've seen before. Because if you were just coming to just check your eyes for fun, you probably would move that appointment back. So those people that don't really buy are rescheduling. The ones that are actually coming in is because I need glasses, I need contacts, I need my macular degeneration vitamins, my eyes are dry, and I really need some help. Like they're coming in for a purpose, which has been good. It hasn't been a lot of wasted time. So even though we're seeing half the amount of people, if we get a better capture ratio from those people, then
Right.
it's okay to see less people. So
Definitely.
I would say that the people for next week is a lot more full than what we had this week. And it was okay because we needed the time to work on our own protocols and make sure that we had it down. And we had
Definitely.
all the supplies needed to provide the care. So I would say for any provider that last week didn't see a big rush, I would say also watch the wording. So the way you word the text message, like we were confirming their existing appointment, they they said yes. When we said, would you like to keep this appointment or would you like to reschedule? Then they're like, yeah, I'll reschedule. Because it's kind of like if you have, it looks like you have beautiful hair. So I would say that you have a hairdresser that you go to regularly. And that girl is so hard to get into that you don't like missing that appointment, because if you miss it, you can't get back in to see her at all. Did I say that correctly?
Well, it's a him, first
Him.
of all, but
There you
and
go.
the last time I had my hair cut was in October, and he is so good that it lasted this long. So
It
it's
looks
well
good.
worth well worth the money.
Well worth it.
But
So
yes,
same
but I
thing.
don't want to miss that appointment.
You
I
don't want to miss that
100%.
appointment. The nail lady, all that stuff. So if you make an urgency, like, hey, we can see you, we're confirming, they come. If you say, hey, we're going to reschedule for 2 more weeks, yes, reschedule. So it all depends on how you word it and letting them know that
Definitely.
we don't have that many appointments. So if you want to be seen, be seen. So that the ones that are coming in, it has been good. And those that can't, because we have some people that they're going back to work in their jobs June 1st and stuff like that. So they're
Wow.
like, can I get back in before
In
that?
now.
I want to be seen. So stuff like that, people are saying, okay, I'm going back. My job is bringing me back in June 1st. So those people are coming in and they're booking or calling because of the timeline. So
Okay.
I would say most offices are going to be fine in June. And it'll just be us getting from now until then and working on our own protocols.
Okay. So that's fantastic to hear. And it's really interesting about the capture rate. And that makes a lot of sense. And I think probably people also, right? Like it's like, I'm going to the grocery store. I want to get everything I need. And then I'm going back home. They want to get in, get what they need, be done with it and move on and not mess around. So, or think about, an option or whatever. Are you seeing any price resistance, any change, with everybody kind of in a different mindset and maybe a more saving mode? Like, are you seeing any of that?
Well, remember, not everybody lost their job.
No.
So let's not assume that everybody lost their job. Okay.
No, but
Depends on
even the people that didn't might be a little bit, kind of a little more. It's like the Great Recession,
Right. But what I
got a bit more
preach
frugal.
to myself and I preach to my staff is don't put your pockets on theirs. And also, some people got their income tax check. They got a stimulus check.
That's true.
They've been working the whole time and they may have gotten a pay bonus while they're working. So depending on your marketing and depending on who you're talking to, they may have extra money that they wouldn't normally have. We also did an email out about Care Credit to our patients. The next day, we sold 2 pairs of glasses for people from Care Credit.
That's great.
And telling them, hey, you get 6 months, no interest. You can get your glasses now, pay it over 6 months, get what you need today, and we'll pay the interest for you for 6 months. And we got people to buy stuff there. So there may be people that, not everybody, but I'm not saying that has not been the first thing I think about.
Sure.
Where I'm like, hey, they may not have the money. If they don't have the money, they may not come in at all. And if they have anything, then we can find lower price items that give them good value. And I mean, my office has never been set up on the lower cost stuff. So the patients that we have, that for the most part is not there. But if there were people that did that, we would work with them as best we could.
Okay, that's great to hear. And it's great thought about Care Credit, because that's a fantastic option too for folks. So that's wonderful. Well, we've already gone a bit over our time, and we've had a couple of folks kind of come pop on here, and I wanted to just address a question because Elaine had gotten on. Hello there, thanks for joining us. And they had asked, they just missed the beginning of the talk. Can they listen again? So, and thank you, Carrie Ann, for messaging that in there. But you can watch this again on our Facebook page, or also it'll be up shortly on our homepage, which is eyecarebusiness.com. We'll be doing these kind of every Friday. We're trying to do a ready to reopen visit tour with a different optometrist owner of their practice as we go along. And I thank you so much, Adam. I could talk to you for an hour more on this. It's so fascinating, and it's really impressive what you've done and your communication and everything. So I thank you for joining us and sharing your information with our viewers.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
Definitely. Good luck over there.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.